I'm starting off by cleansing the skin of any excess oils with a micellar water pad. Afterwards, I'm going to dive into skin prep, which for her skin, I'm just going to use a moisturizer, which is the Weleda Skin Food, and for primer, the Maybelline Grip Primer. And I'm also going to add some lip balm to hydrate the lips, focus to the brows, and I'm going to be laying the brows down with the NYX Brow Glue. And I'm not going to add any color until the end. So now we're going to carve out the bottom of the eyebrow and create her shape. And I like to use an angled brush just so I'm able to create a nice curve or straight eyebrow. To prep the eyelids for eyeshadow, I only use concealer and I do not set it. So I just lightly tap it all throughout and then I go straight in with my eyeshadow. I'm going to be using 2 shades of brown orangey eyeshadow just so it has the same undertone as her hair, so we have a real monochromatic look. I like to spread the foundation all over the skin and then I'll go in and buff it out. For cream contour, I'm going to be using a different undertone than I normally do on her just because of the shade of her hair at the moment. And I'm going to match this bronzer up with a coral colored blush. Once those are all blended out, I'm going to lay down my concealer. And I'm just going to lay my concealer in the placement I want it to be. And I'll let it set for at least a minute and then I'll go in and blend it out. I'm going to be using a loose setting powder first, and I'm using CupCake by Huda Beauty. I'm going to put in all the areas that I added concealer and then all over the face where the foundation may lay. To set cream bronzer and blush, I'm going to be using this MadeByMitchell pressed curve case. When doing nose contour, I always place that bronzer all the way up into the eyeshadow and especially in the beginning of the eyebrow just so it has a seamless blend. I like to bake under the eyes when I do the bottom lash line just because of any eyeshadow fallout that may occur. I don't want it to stick to a freshly pressed base, so I like to bake while I do the bottom eyeshadow. I do get questions on how I do the bottom eyeshadow, and I could really make another video if you guys would want me to, but you just need a very small smudge brush to pack down the color, and then you're going to take a small fluffy brush and blend it out. Now to finish it off, I'm going to be adding my highlight, and I'm just going to press that on top of the blush. For finishing touch, I'm just going to add in some pressed powder just underneath the eye and around the mouth. And that is the look.